welcome to Springfield Career Insights. Tonight, we address a painful reality for many young people. You can finish school, earn certificates, and still struggle to find a job. Not because you're not intelligent, not because you're not capable, but because the workplace speaks a language that schools rarely teach. Employers look for qualities that do not appear on a report card: attitude, reliability, communication, teamwork, problem solving, and the ability to show up consistently even when life is difficult. So we ask, what do employers really want, and how can young people prepare for the workplace even when opportunities are limited? And how does a young person stand out in a world where thousands are competing for the same chance? To guide us through this honest and empowering conversation, we are joined by His Excellency Dr. Godfrey Gandawa, President of Springfield Research University, Architect of Education 6.0, and a continental voice on workforce behavior, youth development, and employability. President, welcome.
Thank you, Doctor. At Springfield, we teach that a job is not given to the most qualified person. It is given to the most prepared person. Employers hire character before they hire skill, because skill can be trained, but character determines reliability. When young people master discipline, communication, and responsibility, they become employable even before they become employed.
Thank you, Professor. President, many young people believe qualifications alone guarantee employment. Why is this belief so misleading in today's job market?
Thank you, Doctor. So, this belief misleads young people because it assumes the world still works the way it did 20 or 30 years ago. That is when a certificate was rare, and having one automatically placed you ahead of others. Today, qualifications are common. Character is not. And that is where the real competition now lies. A certificate tells an employer what you studied. Your behavior tells them whether they can trust you, and trust is the currency of the modern workplace. So, employers are not asking, what did you pass? They are asking, how do you behave when things get difficult? Because every job, no matter how simple, will test your patience, your discipline, your communication, and your ability to work with people who are different from you. A qualification can open the door, Doctor, but it cannot keep you in the room. It cannot teach you how to manage conflict. It cannot teach you how to handle pressure without breaking. It cannot teach you how to show up consistently even when life is heavy. Those are the qualities employers find. And here is the truth young people must embrace, Doctor. A certificate is a document. Employability is a lifestyle. It is how you think, how you speak, how you carry yourself, how you solve problems, and how you treat people, and how you respond to responsibility. When young people understand this, they stop waiting for opportunities and start preparing for them. Because in today's job market, preparation is the real qualification.
Thank you, Professor. When a young person keeps applying for jobs without success, what hidden factors might be working against them?
Thank you, Doctor. So when a young person keeps applying for jobs without success, the problem is rarely their intelligence. It is usually the invisible habits that employers notice long before the applicant does. Sometimes it is the way they present themselves. A CV filled with qualifications but empty of personality, empty of achievements, empty of evidence. Evidence that they can take initiative. Sometimes it is communication, emails written carelessly, phone calls answered without professionalism, or interviews approached with fear instead of preparation. Sometimes it is attitude, a sense of entitlement, a lack of humility, or the belief that a job is a favor rather than a responsibility. And sometimes it is consistency. Employers see gaps, patterns of quitting, a trail of unfinished commitments that quietly raise questions about reliability. But the most hidden factor is this, doctor. Many young people apply for jobs without first becoming the kind of person an employer can depend on. They chase opportunities before building habits. They want the position before they develop the discipline. They want the salary before they master the behavior that earns trust. The job market is not rejecting them, doctor. It is waiting for them to grow into the version of themselves that the workplace needs. And once they do, doors begin to open that once felt permanently closed.
Thank you, Professor. President, what are the top qualities employers look for that schools rarely teach?
Thank you, Doctor. So the qualities employers value most are rarely written on a certificate because they cannot be examined. They must be lived. These are the qualities that turn a young person from a job seeker into an asset. So employers look for emotional maturity, the ability to stay calm when things go wrong, to handle correction without collapsing, and to work with people who think differently. You see, they look for initiative. The young person who does not wait to be pushed like a wheelbarrow, who sees a problem and moves towards it instead of moving away from it. They look for reliability, the quiet, consistent discipline of someone who shows up on time, finishes what they start, and can be trusted with responsibility. They look for communication, not perfect English, but clarity, respect, and the ability to express ideas without creating conflict. Doctor, they look for teachability. What do I mean by teachability? The humility to learn and learn and grow without ego standing in the way. These are not taught in the classroom, doctor, because they are not academic. You see, they are behavioral. They are shaped in the home, in the community, in the way a young person manages their own life long before they enter the workplace. And here is the deeper truth, doctor. A young person who masters these qualities becomes employable even in a difficult economy. Because employers are not just hiring hands, they are hiring habits. They are not just hiring skill, they are hiring stability. So when young people understand this, they stop polishing their certificates, doctor, and they start polishing their character.
Thank you, Professor. President, how important is reliability in the workplace, and why do so many young people underestimate it?
Thank you, Doctor. So reliability is the quiet giant of the workplace. The quality that rarely gets applause, yet determines who rises and who remains stuck. Many young people underestimate it because it is not glamorous. It does not trend. It does not produce instant praise. But in the real world, reliability is power. Reliability means you can be trusted with time, trusted with tasks, trusted with pressure, trusted with people. It means your supervisor does not have to chase you, remind you, or monitor you like a child. It means when you say, I will do it, the matter is considered done. There are people like that. If you say, I will do it, we know she will do it. You don't have to check. Have you done it? So employers value reliability because it reduces stress. A reliable employee brings peace to the workplace, doctor. An unreliable one brings chaos. You see? Young people often overlook reliability because they confuse talent with value. They believe being gifted is enough. No. But talent without reliability becomes a burden, unpredictable, unstable, and exhausting to manage. You see? A reliable young person, even with average skill, becomes indispensable, doctor. They are the ones trusted with bigger tasks, exposed to new opportunities, and considered for leadership long before the most talented person in the room. Because if you are talented and you don't come to work consistently, what's the point? Because we might give you a task and you don't come back tomorrow. So reliability is not about perfection. It is about consistency. It is about showing up every day with the same steady commitment, even when no one is watching you. When a young person becomes a reliable, doctor, they stop competing for jobs. Jobs begin to compete for them.
Thank you, Professor. How can young people demonstrate initiative when they are new, inexperienced, or unsure?
Thank you, doctor. So, initiative is not about knowing everything. It is about showing willingness, courage, and responsibility, even when you are new, inexperienced, or unsure. Employers do not expect young people to arrive perfect, you see. They expect them to arrive ready to grow. A young person can demonstrate initiative in simple but powerful ways, doctor. They can start by asking smart questions. Not, what must I do? But, how can I do this better? Questions show curiosity, humility, and a desire to understand the bigger picture. They can observe before acting, watching how things are done, learning the rhythm of the workplace, and adapting quickly without waiting to be corrected repeatedly. They can volunteer for small tasks, doctor, the unglamorous work that others avoid. You see, when you handle small responsibilities well, bigger ones begin to find you. You see, they can take notes, not trusting memory alone. I see a lot of people when they come to my office, they don't have a notebook. Then they go down, they forget what you have said, or they do it the wrong way. A notebook is a sign of seriousness, and it prevents repeated mistakes. They can follow up, sending a short message after a task to confirm completion or to ask for feedback. This shows ownership, not passiveness, doctor. And most importantly, they can maintain a positive, solution-oriented attitude. Even when unsure, a young person who says, "Let me try, and I will ask if I get stuck," is far more valuable than someone who waits silently. Initiative is not confidence, doctor. It is effort. You see? It is the courage to start, the humility to learn, and the discipline to keep improving. When a young person shows initiative, their inexperience becomes a temporary condition, but their potential becomes undeniable.
Thank you, Professor. Let's take a break and listen to our gospel song, Faith That Moves Mountains.
Oh, yeah. Oh. Faith that moves the mountains. I've stood before the mountains that refuse to step aside. I've prayed through heavy seasons where the tears were hard to hide. But even in the waiting, your whisper reached my soul. Speak to what is standing and watch my power unfold. Give me faith that moves the mountains, faith that speaks and sees them fall, faith that trusts your every promise, faith that knows you're Lord of all. Hey, yeah. Not by sight, not by feeling, but by confidence in you. Oh, give me faith that moves the mountains, for you are faithful, strong, and true. I've walked through silent valleys where the answers felt delayed. I've carried quiet questions that I never dared to say. But you reminded me of power that your spirit placed within. A faith that shakes the heavens and commands the storm to wait. Give me faith that moves the mountains, faith that speaks and sees them fall, faith that trusts your every promise, faith that knows you're Lord of all. And not by sight, not by feeling, but by confidence in you. Oh, give me faith that moves the mountains, for you are faithful, strong, and true. Oh, yeah. I will speak to every stronghold, I will speak to every fear. I will stand upon your promise till your victory appears. For the God who formed the mountains is the God who makes them flee. And the faith you place within me is the faith that sets me free. Hey! Give me faith that moves the mountains, true. Nikolelwa kunkulunkulula ohambisa izintaba. I believe in the God who moves the mountains.
Welcome back. Let's continue our discussion. President, many young people fear criticism. How can they learn to receive feedback without feeling attacked?
So thank you, Doctor. That's the question. Many young people fear criticism because they were raised to believe that correction is a form of rejection. And by the way, not only young people, even elder people. I see them even when they are doing dissertations. You see, you correct them, you give them a comment, they become defensive. They think you are attacking them when you are not. In school, a mistake lowers your marks. At home, a mistake brings what? Punishment. So by the time they reach the workplace, feedback feels like an attack on their what? On their identity, not an investment in their growth. To receive feedback without feeling attacked, a young person must first separate the message from their emotions. Feedback, doctor, is information, not a what? A verdict. It is information, not a verdict. It tells you where you are and what you must adjust. It's as simple as that. You are here. You want to get there. Adjust. That's what feedback means. That's what correction means. It is not a statement about your worthy. Second, doctor, they must understand that criticism is normal. Every professional, even the most experienced, receives correction. You see? The difference is that mature people use feedback as fuel, not fire. So, if you are finding yourself feeling attacked with feedback, you are not mature. That's what I'm saying. Third, they must listen fully before reacting, doctor. Most defensiveness comes from responding too quickly without reflecting. When you pause, breathe, and let the message land, you realize the intention is often to help, not to harm. You see? Fourth, they must ask clarifying questions. What can I improve? How can I do it better next time? This shifts the conversation from emotion to action. And fifth, doctor, they must avoid personalizing the tone. Not every supervisor is a perfect communicator. Sometimes the delivery is rough, but the content is still valuable. So look for the content. Extract the lesson. Leave the tone behind. Take the content. Take the context. And finally, doctor, they must remember this truth. Feedback is not a sign that you are failing. It is a sign that someone believes you can do better. People do not correct what they have given up on you. When a young person learns to receive feedback with maturity, they grow faster, doctor. They entrust quicker and rise higher than those who hide behind pride.
Thank you, Professor. Many young people struggle with punctuality and consistency. How can they build these habits?
Thank you, Doctor. So, punctuality and consistency are not time management issues. They are self-management issues. You see? Young people struggle with them not because they are incapable, but because they have never built the internal systems that make discipline automatic. You see? To build these habits, a young person must begin with structure. You cannot be consistent in a life that has no order. Set a routine, even a simple one, and honor it daily. I say I jog daily. It's a routine, and I do it daily. Routines remove the chaos that makes lateness normal. Second, they must learn to prepare the night before. You see? Clothes, transport, documents, tasks. When you prepare in advance, the morning becomes predictable and punctuality becomes natural. You see, these people, they want to start packing their bags in the morning. Most lateness, doctor, is born from last minute panic. And third, they must reduce dependence on motivation. Consistency is not built on how you feel. It is built on what you committed to. If you only move when you feel inspired, you will move rarely. Fourth, doctor, they must use small anchors. Sleep at the same time, work at the same time, eat at the same time. These anchors stabilize the day and make discipline easier. And fifth, they must remove excuses. Excuses are the enemies of consistency. Because how? When you allow one excuse, you open the door to 10 more. A disciplined person tells the truth. I was late because I did not plan well. Honesty creates improvement. And sixth, the doctor, they must practice micro-consistency. Small daily wins like making the bed, keeping the room tidy, or completing a short task. These small victories build the psychological muscle for bigger commitments. And finally, they must understand that punctuality is respect. Respect for time, respect for others, and respect for themselves. When a young person becomes consistent, they become trusted. And trust is the foundation of every opportunity.
Thank you, Professor. What is the difference between being busy and being productive at work?
Thank you, Doctor. So many young people confuse movement with progress. They believe that if they are constantly doing something, they must be achieving something. But in the workplace, being busy and being productive are two very different realities, you see. Being busy is activity. Being productive is impact. A busy person fills the day with tasks, jumping from one thing to another, reacting to problems and appearing overwhelmed. Their energy is scattered, their priorities unclear, and their results inconsistent. Busyness creates the illusion of work without the substance of achievement. A productive person, on the other hand, focuses on outcomes, doctor. They know what matters most, they plan their day, they work with intention, and they measure success by results, not effort. Productivity is calm, structured, and strategic. Business says, I am doing a lot. Productivity says, I am achieving what matters. Employers do not reward motion. They reward value, doctor. They look for the young person who can turn 8 hours into meaningful progress, not 8 hours into noise. Many of our people, it's just noise. When a young person learns to prioritize, to plan, to focus, and to finish, they stop being busy and start being what? Effective. And in every workplace, effectiveness is what gets noticed, trusted, and promoted.
Thank you, Professor. Some young people feel intimidated by older or more experienced colleagues. How can they build confidence?
Thank you, Doctor. So young people often feel intimidated by older or more experienced colleagues because they assume experience equals superiority. But confidence is not built by age, doctor. It is built by mindset, by preparation and presence. A young person can begin by respecting experience without fearing it. Older colleagues are not competitors, they are libraries. Approach them with curiosity, not insecurity. When you see them as resources, the intimidation dissolves. And secondly, doctor, they must prepare thoroughly. Confidence grows when you know your material, understand your tasks, and anticipate challenges. So preparation turns fear into competence. And third, they must speak with clarity and calm. You do not need to sound older. You need to sound sure. So a steady tone, a well-structured point, and respectful communication command respect regardless of age, doctor. And fourth, they must ask smart questions. Not questions that show helplessness, but questions that show engagement. What is the best way to approach this? What has worked in the past? Questions signal seriousness, not weakness. And the fifth, doctor, they must deliver consistently. When your work is reliable, even the most experienced colleagues begin to trust you. So performance is the great equalizer. And sixth, they must avoid comparing themselves. So every experienced professional was once a beginner. Your chapter 1 should not be compared to someone else's chapter 20. And finally, doctor, they must carry themselves with dignity. Stand tall, greet confidently, maintain eye contact, and participate in discussions. Presence is a form of power. Confidence is not the absence of fear. It is the decision to show up anyway. When a young person combines humility with competence, they stop feeling intimidated, doctor, and start being respected.
Thank you, Professor. Let's take a break and listen to our gospel song, Forever in Your Grace.
Forever held in your grace. Yeah. Oh. When the weight begins to fade, when the road feels long and winding through the shadows I have made, you remind me of your kindness. You remind me who you are, and the grace that holds my story holds me still when life feels hard. I am forever held in your grace, safe in the shelter of your name. You carry every fear I face. You lift me when I break. No height, no depth, no darkest place can pull me from your warm embrace. I am forever held in your grace. When the memories rise like oceans and the storms refuse to cease, when the questions steal my courage and my heart is robbed of peace, you surround me with compassion. You restore what time erased, and the love that never wavers covers all my hidden space. I am forever held in your grace, safe in the shelter of your name. You carry every fear I face. You lift me when I break. No height, no depth, no darkest place can pull me from your warm embrace. I am forever held in your grace. Your grace is not a moment, your grace is where I live. It's the river of forgiveness, it's the breath you daily give. So I rest in your assurance, in the love that does not change. For the one who holds tomorrow holds me now in endless grace. I am forever held in your grace, safe in the shelter of your name. You carry every fear I face. You lift me when I break. No height, no depth, no darkest place can pull me from your warm embrace. I am forever held in your grace. I am forever held in your grace.
Welcome back. Let's continue with our discussion. President, what advice would you give to a young person who feels stuck in a job that doesn't reflect their dreams?
Thank you, Doctor. Feeling stuck is one of the most painful experiences for a young person, and especially when the job they have does not reflect the future they imagine. But being stuck is not the same as being finished. You see, a job can limit your environment, but it cannot limit your destiny unless you allow it. So the first step is reframing. You reframe the job. So instead of seeing it as a prison, see it as a platform. Every job, even the one beneath your dreams, teaches discipline, patience, communication, teamwork, and resilience. So these are the same muscles required for the future you want. And secondly, doctor, a young person must separate identity from employment. Your job title is not your worth, your salary is not your potential, your current position is not your final story. Many great careers began in places that had nothing to do with the dream. And the third, doctor, they must use the job strategically. Learn everything you can, observe how organizations work, build relationships, develop habits of excellence. Your dream will require these skills. Gather them now while the stakes are low. And then fourth, they must build the dream quietly on the side, Study after hours, volunteer in areas aligned with your passion, start small projects, grow your competence. A dream grows in the shadows before it shines in the light, doctor. And fifth, they must avoid bitterness. So bitterness blinds your what? Blinds you from opportunity. Gratitude sharpens your vision. When you treat your current job with respect, you create the emotional maturity needed for the next level. And finally, doctor, they must trust timing, but not rely on luck. Doors open for those who prepare. Opportunities find those who are ready. Your dream is not running away. It is waiting for you to grow into the person who can carry it. A job may not reflect your dreams, but your attitude, doctor, can reflect your destiny. Where you start is never the measure of where you can go.
Thank you, Professor. How can young people build strong professional networks, even if they come from humble backgrounds?
Thank you, doctor. So many young people believe that strong professional networks belong to those with famous surnames, wealth families, or privileged backgrounds. But the truth is this, doctor. Networks grow from your value, not status. A humble background is not a disadvantage. It is a foundation for authenticity, hunger, and resilience. So a young person can build a powerful network through deliberate, disciplined actions. They can begin by showing up where growth happens: workshops, community programs, public lectures, online courses, youth events, professional associations, and volunteer spaces. You do not need an invitation to enter rooms of opportunity. You need initiative, is it? And secondly, they must lead with curiosity, not self-promotion. So people remember the young person who asks thoughtful questions, asks and listens deeply, and shows genuine interest. So curiosity is more attractive than confidence. And third, doctor, they must offer value even when it feels small. Share information, help with tasks, support events, show reliability. No, people who open doors for those who make their lives easier. And fourth, they must follow up and stay connected. So a simple message of gratitude, a check-in, or a shared resource keeps relationships alive. So networks die from silence, not distance. And fifth, doctor, they must build a reputation for character. Integrity, humility, respect, and emotional intelligence travel faster than the CV. People recommend those who they trust, not those they merely know. And sixth, doctor, they must use digital platforms wisely. LinkedIn, professional groups, online communities, and industry forums allow a young person from anywhere even the humblest village to connect with the global minds. So your background does not limit your reach. And finally, they must be patient and consistent. Networks are not harvested, they are nurtured. Relationships built slowly, last longer, and open deeper doors. A humble background is not a barrier to networking, doctor. It is a story of authenticity that many people respect. When a young person shows value, discipline, and sincerity, even the most influential people begin to take notice.
Wow, this is amazing. Let's take a commercial break and stay tuned.
At Springfield Research University, we don't teach to pass exams, we encode futures. Grounded in Education 6.0 and powered by STEMA, science, technology, engineering, mathematics, medicine, and automation, we deliver modular, sovereign learning across undergraduate, master's, and doctoral programs. Explore our prospectus, where every curriculum is designed to STEMatize every discipline, dignify local authorship, and credential transformative knowledge. Be STEMatized, be sovereign. Here, knowledge is authored, not borrowed. Curriculum is credentialed, not copied. Every graduate becomes an architect of transformation. With 2 annual intakes, March and September, the path to innovation is always open. From the logic of automation to the soul of indigenous intelligence, SRU is where tomorrow is designed. Springfield isn't just a university, it's an epicenter of epistemic dignity. Join the movement. Study where learning governs itself. Springfield Research University, the globe is here. Where are you?
Welcome back. Let's continue with our discussion. President, what is one workplace behavior that instantly earns trust from employers?
Thank you, Doctor. So the workplace has many impressive qualities: talent, intelligence, confidence, ambition. But there is one behavior that instantly earns trust from employers, regardless of age or experience. That's doing exactly what you said you would do without being reminded. This single behavior communicates maturity, discipline, and reliability more loudly than speech or any speech or CV. When a person keeps their word consistently, quietly, and without excuses, employers begin to relax around them. They stop worrying. They stop micromanaging. They stop doubting. Because trust is built when your actions match your promises. So this behavior shows 3 powerful things, Doctor. Responsibility. That's you take ownership of tasks and outcomes. Integrity. Your word has weight. You do not speak casually. And third, professionalism. You understand that commitments are not suggestions. So most people overpromise and underdeliver. The young person who underpromises and overdelivers becomes unforgettable. In every workplace, trust is the currency that buys opportunity. And the faster way to earn that trust is a simple, Doctor. Say it, do it, finish it every time.
Thank you, Professor. Professor, how can young people avoid comparing their career progress to others, especially on social media?
Thank you, Doctor. So comparison is one of the most silent killers of confidence among young people, especially in the age of social media, where everyone appears to be winning, accelerating, and arriving. But what young people forget is this: social media shows pace, not process, results, not reality. To avoid comparing their career progress to others, a young person must begin with perspective. So every career has its own timeline. Some people rise early, some rise later, but everyone rises at the time that matches their preparation personality, and purpose, doctor. You cannot fast forward your destiny by watching someone else's highlight reel. Second, they must curate their digital environment and follow accounts that trigger insecurity. Mute people who make you feel behind. Follow pages that inspire growth, not pressure. Your mind becomes what you feed it. And third, you must focus on your lens. Comparison happens when your eyes wander. Progress happens when your eyes focus. Ask yourself daily, what can I improve today? Small, consistent steps beat loud, inconsistent leaps. And fourth, doctor, they must measure progress by growth, not speed. Are you learning? Are you becoming more disciplined? Are you building competence? These are the real indicators of a rising career, not likes, titles, or online applause. And fifth, they must understand the hidden truth. People post achievements, not struggles. They post promotions, not rejections. They post milestones, not the months of doubt. You are comparing your reality to someone else's edited version of their life, you see? And the sixth, they must celebrate their own journey. Write down wins, no matter how small. Track your improvements. Acknowledge your growth. Self-recognition builds inner confidence. And finally, doctor, they must trust their timing. A delayed path is not a denied path. Some of the most powerful careers are built slowly, quietly, and intentionally, far away from the noise of social media. When a young person stops comparing and starts building, they reclaim their peace, their focus, and their future, doctor.
Thank you, Professor. Finally, President, what is your message to every young person preparing to enter a workplace that demands more than certificates?
Thank you, doctor. So my message to every young person preparing to enter a workplace that demands more than certificates is this. The world is no longer hiring paper. It is hiring people. Your qualification may open the door, doctor, but it is your character, discipline, and emotional intelligence that will keep you in the room. Now, the modern workplace rewards those who can think, adapt, communicate, and collaborate. It rewards those who bring stability, not stress, solutions, not excuses, initiative, not entitlement. So I say to every young person, build competence, become good at something real, build character, let your word mean something, build discipline, show up on time every time, build emotional intelligence, manage yourself before you manage tasks, build humility, be willing to start small and grow steadily, build resilience. The workplace will test you, but pressure is how diamonds form. Build relationships. People open doors that certificates cannot. And above all, build yourself. Because in a world overflowing with qualifications, the rarest thing is a young person who is dependable, teachable, and principled. If you become that person, opportunities will not just find you, they will follow you. Thank you, Doctor, for having me.
Thank you, President, for unveiling the hidden curriculum of the workplace. Your message tonight reminds us that employers value reliability, attitude, and initiative long before qualifications. To our audience, if you are ready to become employable through character and competence, Springfield Research University invites you to join a community where professionalism is cultivated with intention. Visit www.springfieldresearchuniversity.net to begin. This brings us to the end of tonight's edition of Springfield Career Insights. May your character open doors your CV cannot. I am Clarence, your host. Good night.
Multilingual tapestry, Genjabulo, Sihlomeli impilo leyinhle lena. Hey hey, siyakhuphuka, siyakhuphuka, tikiti lethu Tanzania kiwa. Hey hey, siyakhuphuka, sonke siyavumelana, ngemjululo muhle sonke similela. Hey hey, siyakhuphuka, siyakhuphuka.